to Let's Talk with me, your host, Irene Solo. Today we are joined with very special guests and we are going to talk about a very crucial topic. With me here we have
Reverend Dr. Victor Ihomwa Black from Nigeria.
Wow, thank you so much. The name is powerful. And with me again we have
Pastor Jude Nwachukwu.
Pastor Jude Nwachukwu. So today we are going to talk about, somebody once asked me a question. He said, okay, if you are in an abusive marriage, how do you come out? And I've seen that Reverend Dr. Victor has written a book, actually. It's like a guideline helping people, homes and marriages. So I just want us to talk about it today. How do you, okay, when you get into a marriage, how do you sustain your marriage? And how do you get out if the marriage is not working out? So today, let us talk about that. So this is the book. If you have a chance, if you're in Nigeria, if you're around, you can still order. We'll get some. I know some of you are looking at my table. It's beautiful, right? But otherwise, don't worry. Next time, it will be you that will be joining us. So Dr. Victor, please tell us, there's a big problem with marriage today. Even as a church, as people, we find it hard. Many people find it hard to get married. Even when they get married, they find it hard to keep the marriage. Some are keeping the marriage while there's violence in the marriage. One of the sisters recently, they said she died out of an abuse in her home. So these are things that are very sensitive. How can somebody, if you realize, okay, you are married and the abuse is there, how do you come out? You have children, you have built a home with this person. How do you come out?
I think that the first step of coming out of abusive marriage is by getting to know some of the danger signs that are associated with slave marriage or abusive marriage. And before you get into marriage, abusive marriage can be avoided to a larger extent.
Okay.
And when you are getting involved, let's assume in courtship,
yes,
there are some danger signs that one could notice that there are danger signs that if one notices them, that he can avoid the abusive marriage.
Okay.
But many people, because of love, because of infatuation, because of lust,
yes,
because of the romance of marriage, they are not careful to watch and to identify the potential abusive marriage. Either the man is abusive or the woman is abusive. You see, when we talk about abusive marriage, it is not only men that abuse women.
Which is true.
A lot of women abuse men. And the men are quiet about it. They're not saying anything because they're ashamed.
It's true,
It's very shameful.
Let me stop you there.
Yeah.
I saw something on social media. I'm laughing about it right now, but it made me feel like crying. They showed a lady who was actually beating the husband.
Yeah.
And the husband was crying.
Yeah.
And you find that there are men who are going through this, and when they come out, they pretend like everything is okay.
Yes.
So I was telling somebody that as much as we are talking about men abusing women, I've come to realize there are women who are abusing men, and there are also children who are abusing their parents.
Yes.
So I actually think when it comes to abuse, we need to actually look at it all round. It's not just one thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when it comes to marriage, personally, I think that we need to be sensitive. We need to leave culture aside and allow people to literally focus and ask themselves, is this what you want? And another thing is, I believe personally, maybe because I'm a Christian, I think you need to put God in the picture, but you should not be religious. That is my point about marriage. That is what I think, because I think many Christians have made Christianity religion, of which is not supposed to be so. And I think that's where the problem comes in. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Pastor Jude, what do you say?
Actually, most Christians are taking this issue of Christianity to a context, to a point where they are like now imprisoned. Christianity is never a prison yard, where you see things, you don't want to say it because I don't know what people will say about me now because I'm a Christian.
Because that is what happens.
I don't know what they are going to think about me if I do
Yes.
this or if I do that.
Yeah.
But the issue is, one, like Dr. Victor rightly said,
Yeah.
you must first of all try to identify the dangers. And let me tell you something. Abusive marriage did not start one day.
That's true.
It did not start
That's
one day.
true. That's true.
It's not just what a man or a woman just woke up one day and began to, it started somewhere. Even from the beginning, there are signs. There are signs that we undermine. We didn't take cognizance of. You understand? So abusive marriage, like we are saying it now, and the reason why we are saying this is mainly because of this young lady that passed on in Nigeria a few weeks ago.
A beloved lady.
Everybody now, every topic now is abusive marriage. That's the topic of the churches now, the pastors now. But this thing has been there for a very long time.
Which is true.
It has been there. We are underrating it, undermining it. Like we also said here, it's not only the women, the men that are being abused. Men are being abused.
Which is true.
You understand?
I saw that.
A woman keeps nagging the husband, nagging the husband, disrespecting the husband. It's an abuse.
Even physical beating.
Yes, I saw that. I saw that.
There are a lot of women that they physically abuse their husband, beat them up. I mean, do some funny things. You see, when you are getting into courtship, you're getting to know a lady, you're getting to know a man, you discover that there are some danger signals.
You have something like that in your book. I'm trying to find it. Yes.
When somebody you are getting to marry is giving you 10 commandments when you are in this. Thou shalt not go to your parents' house. Thou shalt not make phone calls. Thou shalt not greet anybody. Thou shalt not come back late. And so when these laws are coming up, even when you are not yet married, you discover that this man or this woman is going to be highly possessive. And when he becomes highly possessive, the freedom that you needed in marriage will not be there. Exactly. When you get married, you don't lose your identity. Coming into marriage does not. You lose your name, but you don't lose your identity. True. So it doesn't mean that you are going to be a slave in that marriage. You still have your say. You still have your personality. You still have everything. So you only blend.
That's true.
You blend the two natures, the two people, they blend together. But when the man comes to possess the woman, or the woman takes possession of the man, this is where abuse comes. This is where control comes.
That's true.
The Bible never commanded control. It commanded obedience, submission.
Obedience and love.
And love.
Yes.
And submission.
Yes.
And this submission is one to another. You see, he said, wife, submit to your husband. Then the next verse says, husband, submit yourself one to another.
And you know, I love it when it says that husbands, you should love your wife as Christ loved the church. You know, I always, when they say as Christ loved the church, I always say, okay, let's go back and see, how did Christ love the church? He gave himself for the church. Yeah. So now, if Christ can give himself for you and I, why is it that we find it hard to literally? Because I believe if you love somebody, I'm a woman, I'm talking on a woman's perspective. If you're loved, you'll submit. You will not be forced to submit. You will do it willingly.
Sure.
Yeah. So that is on when I talk on the side of a woman, I can literally tell you, if somebody truly loves you, you'll find yourself doing everything for them without a struggle. But most of the time, some of the men can be very controlling. Or, as we come back to the women, you find that a woman can be very nagging, very controlling, very problematic. Exactly. And the man will look for a way to get out of that hole.
Some of those things started from the family of origin.
Yes.
When a boy is growing up in an abusive marriage,
abusive home.
So is going to end up being abusive, having an abusive marriage. So likewise a lady, a girl growing up in an abusive home. So you see, these things, the Bible says, train up a child the way he should go. And when he comes up, he will never depart from it. So when we create this, try to, in a home, we try to make the woman look inferior. Like those in the traditional marriages, a lot of them, the man is on top. But God did not make it that way. He makes it man to work with wife side by side.
Yeah, because
That
we're
is how
supposed to
God-
be partners.
It was a partners.
Thank you.
Yes.
I love that.
Yes. So when you now bring the two captains, raise two captains, there's going to be a problem in that marriage.
There cannot be two captains.
Yes, there cannot be two captains in the ship. And also, women should learn to not only love, also to submit. Because when you give yourself to get married, you know that the man is the head of the house. You should know this. And if you are not willing to submit, you don't get into marriage. You don't get into marriage. If you are not willing to submit, you don't get into marriage.
Yeah.
Because you are going there to submit. And your husband, if you are not willing to love, and the love means that you are going to love the person, your wife, as yourself. I've not seen any man that beat himself for making an error.
Which is true.
No man slaps himself. No man wakes up and says, I made this so and so mistake. I am going to slap myself. I'm going to beat up myself. Nobody does it.
Which is true.
Nobody does it.
Yeah.
So, our parents should teach their children.
From young.
From young. Yes. And you remember that this period of time, a lot of people are trying to learn marriage from the internet.
Exactly.
Yes. Marriage is not in the internet.
Yes. What they see out there.
What they see. And they also, sorry, let me make this comment.
Yeah.
You see, when you get to internet marriage, in the social media, you see romance, you see that fantasies, and the marriage in the internet, social media, does not teach responsibility.
Thank you.
What it teaches is that fantasy of love, romance, the kids, do this, do that. So it doesn't teach responsibility.
There is no reality in it.
There's no reality. So when you are getting into marriage, you have to know you have a responsibility. You are responsible to, you have something to contribute. You have something, sacrifice to make. Even in an abusive marriage, when a man abuses his wife, when a man abuses his wife, that wife should know that the man is abusing her. He doesn't have to run away immediately. He doesn't have to run away immediately.
Okay.
There are sacrifices to make.
Okay.
There are sacrifices to make. And if we don't see this reality, remember that marriage is of God.
Okay.
God institutionalized it.
Yes.
So it is not a case of contract work. You got employed, you are fired.
Okay.
You are not going to fire your wife. Two of you are calling for a responsibility.
But okay, sir, I understand you. Okay, what do you have to say,
let me say something from what he is like. He said, the woman does not need to run away.
Yeah, I wanted to make a comment on that. Yes.
Now, like this particular, what do you call it? This particular woman we are talking about, everybody is talking about now.
Yes.
When this abuse started, what Reverend said here now is what happened.
She decided not to
run away.
Yes.
She said it's too early.
Maybe
in her mind, it's too early for her to run away now.
And she also said that God will change the person.
God will change the man. So at the end of it now, she's not there again to say what happened. Or to continue the prayers.
Which is true.
You understand?
And the children are left without a father. Without a mother. And actually
now,
without a father.
And they are going to be left without a father also.
Yes. Because the man will not be there anymore.
Now, what I'm trying to say, Doctor, the moment that abuse starts, let the man open up.
Yes, I think that's another important thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let open up to the right people.
The right people.
There are right people.
Yes, exactly.
Because if you open up to your classmates, your colleagues, and somebody they may give you a wrong advice. Okay. There are mature people. There are people that have seen this marriage. There are people you need to talk to. They will give you the best of counsel.
So how long have you been married?
I've been married for about 33 years now.
I would love to talk to your wife. Pastor Jude, how long have you been married?
I've been married for a long time.
For a long time, sir. Tell us how long.
Very long time.
I like that.
Very long time.
Okay.
You know. So, like I was saying, we need to start early. Doctor said to the right people, yes.
Yes.
Who are the right people?
That's a good question.
Who are the right people? Like this particular case at hand. She got all the right people by
Around
her side.
Yes.
She got her family.
Yes.
She got her mother.
Yes.
These people were the people that would have come in to say, my friend, what you are doing to our daughter is not good. But she didn't want them to come.
What do you do if, let's say, your sister is going through that, and your sister has told you, don't come in? What do you do? Do you leave it?
I won't leave. I won't leave it.
Okay.
I will not leave it.
Okay.
I will not leave it.
Okay.
One, the first thing I will do is to confront the man.
Okay.
Not
of which I think they did that confrontation before.
Their confrontation was just on phone.
Okay.
If I may say that. I will go to the man and say, excuse me, this woman is from my family. You don't treat my sister like that. Because I, as a man, I cannot treat another woman in that manner. I will tell him, don't treat my wife. I will go to the pastor of my sister.
Okay.
So that he or she
should be aware.
Should be aware. And okay, look at now. They are in the same church. The man is in the same church. I will go to the pastor. See what your pastor is doing. One of your pastors here.
One of your leaders.
One of your leaders. This is what beating my sister. I will not take that. Honestly, no matter how religious or how Christian I am, I will not take it. I will not stand you beating my sister to a point that she will go to hospital.
I want to contribute here. You see, the issue of love and marriage, one has to be very, very careful. Sometimes if you well into home, marriage, a man and his wife's matter, sometimes they settle with you. They use you to settle. Okay. And what that means is that you have to be careful in intervening in such case. A man and his wife are having issues.
Like, I'll give you an example with that, sir. There was an incident of a family I knew, and they were having issues. And then I was called upon because they were like, this is going on. So as a family friend, I was told this is going on. At the end of the day, I said, guys, do this and do that. Do you know, at the end, I became the bad person.
Yes, it does happen.
I became the bad person, even though I was like, guys, please try and do this and this. I became the bad person.
There was a question Pastor Jude asked. He said, who is the right person?
Yes.
Listen, let me tell you this. You see, in African marriage, it is a marriage between two families.
Yeah. Okay.
Unlike what people are borrowing from the Western culture. Okay. A man sees a lady, two of them start agreeing to marry. Before you know it, you cohabitation. They start living together, start raising children. And before the lady will say, oh, let me go and tell my parents, I found a man. And before you say found a man, he has 4 children already. So, marriage is between two families. Families will sit together. And if the man knows that this lady is coming from a family and he has backers, he has parents, he has people who are standing by, the level of abuse, he may not abuse that lady so much. He may not even, he'll be afraid because he has people. If the lady also knows that this man is coming from a family, he has people. So the marriage is not just between the man and his wife. In African culture, it is two families. So when abuse arises, it is these two families that come together to sit down and judge the case. And each will warn their son or their daughter. So this is one of the ways African cultural way of settling marriage disputes. Okay. In those days, divorce was not as much rampant as it is today. Because when you remember you are coming from a home, this person remember that is coming from a home. The two families will sit together and blame you. My daughter, you are responsible. Why? By the time they finish talking to her, when she's going back to that marriage, she will go with the same mind. Okay. And the young man too when they talk to the families, talk to the distant, because they are ready to disown him. And if you know that they will disown him, he wouldn't want that.
Exactly. But sir, let's now. Okay, sorry that I have to interrupt here. If we go back to our beloved sister Osinachi, according to the story, the man literally changed his identity. The man disowned his own family members, so that will not be an issue for him.
But that's one in a million. That's one of
because
the
already,
not common.
yeah. Because even I was thinking about it the other day. Even if they had to try and maybe sometimes somebody comes to you, they tell you the name, and you try to find out who is this person. And you go, you check the background. But this guy changed his name. He changed his surname. So even if they check the background, they'll never find anything. Yes. This man changed his name.
Yes. Okay, let me come to that. Changing his name or his surname, it doesn't make sense to me. People, he came with his, when he went to marry that woman, he came with his people.
There's a possibility he did not come with the right people.
There's also
he came with his people. There is no way. Because they are not far from each other. This is Imo State, this is Anambra State. They are not far from each other. Knowing the family of the so-called men is not difficult. You know, the issue here is, the major thing here is this Osinachi hindered his people from coming.
Yeah, she said no.
Okay, let me tell you something. Let me use my very self. My late elderly sister, when she got married newly, something happened in the marriage. Not between him, not.
Hi, this is Irene Sola from Let's Talk. If you love our videos, please subscribe, like, and share them. See you again next time. Bye. Ciao.